When Saferin was a boy, he looked for ways to have some fun. He became a fan of Cleveland teams that hardly ever won. So he sampled all the products from the store his father owned and discovered that it's fun to watch the Indians when you're stoned. But that got old and Steve was on his way to business fame, still searching for a funny bitch that no one else could claim. He opened up the kitchen drawer where silverware was strewn, and there he saw a gleaming, a shiny silver spoon. Yippee-yi-yo, yippee-yi-yay. He saw a silver spoon. If I hang this from my nose, he thought it's sure to bring a smile. So he practiced every day till he could hang that spoon with style. From all outward appearances, Steve was a rich tycoon, but inside he led a secret life as the man behind the spoon. It began as an amusement, but in time Steve was obsessed with hanging spoons upon the nose of every dinner guest. On most of the world's continents, from Spain to Saskatoon, he carried forth the mantra, every nose deserves a spoon. After many moons and many spoons, Steve Saferin has retired. With a grandchild now his source of joy, who somehow seems inspired to keep the laughter coming morning, night, and afternoon. She's the newest generation of the man behind the spoon. Yippee-yi-yo, yippee-yi-yay. He's the man behind the spoon. He's the man behind the spoon. He's the man behind the spoon.
Show, and I'm your host, Grimly Reaper, coming to you live with stories about people who aren't. Our top story this morning, famed entrepreneur Steve Saferin has died at the age of 98 years old. Forgive me. You know, it's actually one of those good news, bad news stories. See, the good news is Steve died peacefully in his sleep last night. But the bad news is he was watching the Super Bowl, and the Cleveland Browns were in the game for the first time ever. Of course, the good news is that the Browns were losing so bad that dying actually put Steve out of his misery. Then the bad news, Steve missed the Browns' comeback in the second half, and it was the first time that all three major Cleveland teams won championships in the same season. Something that never happened in Steve Saferin's lifetime, so it turns out. Now, for more on the story, we go to heaven, where our correspondent, Miss Cleo, is standing by.
Wow, I did not see this coming.
Oh, come now, Miss Cleo. The man was 98 years old.
Of course, child, that's not what we're talking about. The Browns win a Super Bowl? You gotta be kidding me. At any rate, you have questions, I have the answers.
Well, Miss Cleo, what everyone wants to know is, what is Steve Saferin doing his first day in heaven anyway? A lot of paperwork, I would imagine.
Hey, who's a psychic around here? Of course, but he finished now and is having a big old reunion party with his old friends.
Oh, that's exciting. What's going on at the party?
Don't make me take you to church, young man. You know very well that what happens in heaven stays in heaven.
All right. Miss Cleo, we understand you actually met Steve Saferin back in the 1980s. Something about a lottery promotion?
Oh, now that's where you're wrong, news person. No. Saferin first called Miss Cleo for career advice when he was still in college. First time we talked, he was wrestling for American University and thinking about turning professional. I told him he would meet a man who would help him decide. After that meeting, Steve changed his mind. Steve went to work for the FCC. That was back when the government were after George Carlin for his 7 dirty words you can't say on TV. Steve called me after his superiors published a new complaint. Their list of 84 dirty words Saferin's not allowed to use around the office.
So I trust you gave him some good advice then.
Naturally, when the man starts counting the dirty words, then it's time to move on for sure.
So what about this Miss Cleo lottery?
Can you just imagine millions of lottery players having the chance to win a free phone call to Miss Cleo? Amazing, right? The problem is, I was so busy with my callers and other projects, it was hard, to get this here idea off the ground.
Oh, I can imagine.
Last time I talked to him, Steve asked Miss Cleo about a new lottery game. He calls it Looks Bad, Feels Good. I am thinking to myself, he's having a joke with me, right? I tell him, looks bad, feels bad, smells bad, tastes bad, is bad, forget this one. And then I say words that I cannot believe is coming out of my lips. Don't call me anymore. You hear me?
Holy cow, that sounds like a big mess to me.
Oh, it turned out fine. Chuck Klein ended up selling 50 million of them damn tickets to Massachusetts.
Well, thank you, Miss Cleo. After the break, more obituaries for you. And coming up in the next hour, Miss Cleo and sneak preview where she'll tell us who is going to die later this week. We'll be right back. "2016. A year to hop into the canoe and head up a lazy river to a lake called Oblivion. Retirement announcements left and right, from powerful athletes to powerful politicians. Steve, you're surrounded by famous retirees, young and old, and the list covers all the demos, the greatest generation, baby boomers, Gen Xers, and even millennials. And Steve, have we got a surprise for you? Some of the retirees are here tonight to offer you their personal well wishes. First, it's the host of the long-running public radio show, Prairie Home Companion. Yes, it's Garrison Keeler, retiring after 47 years at the helm of that variety show.
Everything was going along just fine. And then, back in 2005, I did this show in Atlanta. And not to belabor this, there was what one reporter called a bunch of wealthy, drunken table revelers on hand. Is any of this ringing a bell, Saferin? At any rate, 11 years of therapy later, I've reconciled myself to this point of view, and that is, who needs this shit? Fuck you all.
Thank you, Garrison. Next up to the plate, arguably baseball's biggest superstar, here tonight from the Boston Red Sox, playing first base and batting cleanup. It's David Ortiz.
So Big Papi, tell it like it is. Still suffering. I know dumb motherfucking ball player. You come to Boston, my city. You make lottery games about my team. Over $1 billion worth of tickets. What is Big Papi's share? Nada. Zero. Strike 3. I'm out. You understand what I'm trying to say? You son of a bitch. I'm gonna sue the pants off of you.
Well, I'm sure there's at least one VIP retiree who will have nothing but good things to say about Steve Saferin, Cleveland's biggest Cavaliers fan. Retiring from the NBA after 25 games in which he racked up 23 points and an NBA championship ring, it's Cavs center Sasha Khan.
Hello, I hope you have fun here now, but do not make fun of me. I had a rough year. I was in games for over an hour and half this season. Only get paid $1.4 million. How Mushina supposed to live on that? I know Steve Saferin going to tell you he is big fan of mine, but I tell you that is load of oxen. You forget Steve Saferin. I am Russian. I have access to your emails. I know what you say about me, okay? So f*** off.
Lastly, our guest of honor. With his partner at his side, he's been a rock. And as his career slides away, whether it's from work, from play, or at the zoo, he's still crazy after all these years. With old friends across America and around the world, and a legacy of keep the customer satisfied. Hey, it's that short Jewish guy in the baseball cap who has brought so much joy to so many. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Paul Simon.
Ever so sweetly, the relationship was born. Jim Butinsky butted out, and all the white guys looked to Lorne. It all seemed rosy till Monopoly was born. There must be 50 ways to leave side games. Steve is the latest and the greatest of the throng of former workers who kept wondering what's taking him so long. So I'll repeat myself. At the risk of being wrong, there must be 50 ways to leave side games. 50 ways to leave side games. I just pick up and leave, Steve. Make your wife get a job out. You don't have to beg, Greg. Just listen to me. Sign off with your pen, Ken. Have a whole lot of call. Check the World Wide Web there and get yourself free. Just give up your condom, try and work on your tan, and go on Twitter and chat, Pat, to get yourself free. Don't fall through the cracks, Max. Just jump off a cliff, Jeff. Bit fun to do, Lou, and get yourself free. Steve should be praised, but there's a chance he'll be maligned by the saps who have to stick it out. The ones he left behind, I bet frustration is the top thing on their mind about the 50 ways. So if you're hanging in there on the second floor and your future's looking grimmer than it's ever looked before, snap out of it and simply show yourself the door. There must be 50 ways to leave side games. 50 ways to leave side games. Steal one of the trucks, Chuck. Slip down the aisle, Kyle. Just hop on your bikes, Mikes, to get yourself free. Get a new address, Cass. Climb out on a limb, Jim. Walk down one story, Lord, and get yourself free. Talk to your old man, Dan. Fold your hands and pray, Ray. Try to rob a bank, Frank. Just listen to me. Dive into a ditch, Rich. Visit Vietnam time. Give the lights a scram pan, and you'll be free.
Never, 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 never. Oh, bloody hell. Do whatever you want then. Cheers, mate.